friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Julie. I am a mom to 5 and I am really enjoying sharing some Christmas content here on my channel. And so today I'm just going to share some of our favorite Christmas traditions. I know it's getting very close to Christmas now, so it might be a little bit late to implement any of these into your family, but maybe save these ideas for next year. Maybe you are just starting your family and you're looking for some traditions to start, or you're just curious what other large families do. I have a whole list here on my phone of some of our favorite Christmas traditions. I came up with a few things on my own that I wanted to share, and then we were out today sitting in the van waiting for our grocery pickup order, and I said to the kids, what are some of your favorite Christmas traditions? And they named off a few more ideas that I added to my list. It's always interesting to talk to the kids and find out which traditions are important to them, what their favorite traditions are, and some of them surprised me, like, oh, of all of our traditions, that is your favorite one. It's very, very interesting. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of quickly go through these because I do have a good list. A lot of these things we have been doing since my oldest son, who is 11 now, was born. Some of them are a little bit newer, but I just find traditions are such a big part of the holiday. Things that you do every single Christmas. Those are just really special. It helps the kids know what to anticipate. It helps keep some sort of routine or rhythm through the month of December. And there are just so many fun things, so many things that our family enjoys. So starting at the top of the list, I wrote down Christmas movies. We enjoy watching some good Christmas classics. I would say that through the fall months, we don't have very much screen time. We've just been kind of getting into that school routine. We don't have screen time every day. But then once December hits and it's getting dark so early in the afternoon, like 4 o'clock, it's dark outside, we tend to watch more movies. And so it's the perfect time just to start pulling out some of those Christmas classics. I say that as if we have like the movies. We have like a handful of DVDs, but mostly we stream on Disney Plus or we stream on Netflix, and we watch some of those Christmas classics. My kids love Home Alone and Arthur Christmas, and I love the old, like the cartoon How the Grinch Stole Christmas and Charlie Brown Christmas. It's just so fun watching these movies every year. Oh, and Miracle on 34th Street. That is definitely one of my favorites. Every year with our Christmas decorations, we pull out our advent calendar. I will put a little picture or video in here for you to see what our little advent calendar looks like. And in each one of these boxes, every day, I put some little note in the box. So the kids go through, we have a pattern. Every day a different child opens the box and it will say little activities for us to do. So it's either going out Christmas shopping or Christmas baking or a Christmas craft. Sometimes I will just say, oh, go look on your bed, and I'll have put a candy cane on each one of the kids' beds. We do something little special each day during the month of December. We always build a gingerbread house. I say I help a little bit, but I make sure to put gingerbread house in our advent calendar on a day when Andrew is home, because that's more his expertise. He enjoys doing that with the kids. It's not really my favorite thing to do, so I love that he takes over and does that. I take pictures and maybe help a little bit. I already mentioned Christmas baking. We love to do Christmas baking. I try to get our Christmas baking done between like the last week of November to like December the 10th or so. Get a whole bunch of Christmas baking done, put it in the freezer, then we can pull it out and have a little treat, or I can bring a plate of goodies to a Christmas get together, family Christmases, that kind of stuff. I tend to put off the baking later than I should. Like I said, I like to have it done by like that first week of December, because then you don't want to be making big batches of Christmas baking when you're really close to Christmas, but sometimes I end up doing that anyways. I kind of put it off too late. Another tradition that we've been doing this one ever since the year Andrew and I got married, even before we had kids, and that is to give each other, and the kids now, pajamas the night before Christmas. So we'll wrap up pajamas with all of our Christmas gifts. We'll put a special note on there saying for Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Eve, everybody opens their new pajamas and they wear them on Christmas Eve to bed, and usually for Christmas morning as we're opening up gifts too. So we have done pajamas almost every year. There's been a couple years where I'm like, okay, we don't really need new pajamas. Like, we just really don't need new pajamas. And so we'll get something different instead. Like Andrew and I especially, since we're not really changing sizes. So we'll do slippers or house coats, or Andrew and I have done a hoodie before. So it's not always pajamas, usually it is, but we'll always have something to wear as a gift for Christmas Eve. Another one of our traditions is we cut down our own Christmas tree. We get a real tree at Christmas, and not just a real tree like from your grocery store or just like cut and wrapped and waiting. We like to go pick our tree out, cut it down. We've had 2 years where we've done an artificial tree. So we do have an artificial tree, and actually next year I'm hoping to put up 2 trees. I think that would be really fun. One on the main floor, one upstairs. We do have a spot big enough that we could put up an artificial tree. But other than those 2 years, we've always gone, picked out a tree, cut it down, dragged it back to our vehicle, tied it up to the top, brought it in. It's so fun. It's such a fun tradition, fun experience to have a different tree each year. We can look back at pictures and see all the different trees we've picked. And the first couple years that after Andrew and I were married, when you go and cut down a tree yourself, you look and you think, okay, this tree is a good size. And then you cut it down, bring it home. Those first couple years, our tree was way too big. Like in the forest, it looked so small, but we've definitely gotten better at knowing, even out in the forest, what tree would be a good size for in our house. Another fun tradition we do, and this is why I say I want to put up 2 trees next year, is that every year each of the kids gets a new ornament. So we'll do it different each year. For quite a few years, we took our kids into the store and let them each pick out a new ornament. Sometimes I will just go, especially if I go to like a gift shop or something, somewhere where I don't really want to be bringing 5 kids, you know, tight spaces and lots of breakable stuff. And I will pick out just a nice special ornament for each of them. So we put those on the tree. I always take a Sharpie and just write on the back whose ornament it is and what year we gave it to the child. And they love that. They love having their own ornaments. And then every Christmas, you know, as we pull out our box of ornaments, they pull out, oh, this is mine. This one's mine. But like I said, we are getting to have a lot of ornaments, and I think it's time for a second tree. A lot of the kids' ornaments are like little Disney characters. So eventually, maybe next year, all their ornaments will be on one tree, and then I'll actually do up a tree that looks a little bit more, I guess, coordinated and nice and kind of put together, not with all the kids like Minnie Mouse and Snoopy and all those ornaments, but the kids do love getting a new ornament each year. Now this is something else that we do that, to be honest, I didn't even realize was not common. I've gotten a lot of comments on videos asking about this, because as we go shopping, buy gifts, we wrap gifts and we put them right under the tree. So as soon as our Christmas tree is up, we start wrapping gifts and putting gifts under the tree. Now I know, especially from YouTube comments, that a lot of people wait until Christmas Eve and they put all their gifts under the tree that night. We don't do that. We gradually put the gifts under the tree. We don't do Santa, and so that's why we're able to do that. But I love our kids, like their anticipation, and they go and look under the tree and they're looking through the gifts like, oh, I wonder what that is. We usually do have to have a like, don't pick up your gifts. You can look, but don't pick up or shake your gifts. But they have so much anticipation and excitement, like, I wonder what is in that box. So I am so glad that we do that. Because of that tradition, it's easy for us to do this next tradition, and that is that our kids all sleep under the tree on Christmas Eve. Now, when I say under the tree, they're all kind of spread out around the living room, but they sleep in the room with the Christmas tree on Christmas Eve. I did this tradition growing up, like this is something that my family did, and so I thought we'd try it one year with the kids, and like boom, it became this like, yes, they look forward to it so much. I'm sure at some point they'll outgrow it, because I think it just makes Christmas Eve night long for them, because they can't go to sleep. It's hard to go to sleep on Christmas Eve with so much excitement. And then of course, being in, you know, laying on the couch and not in their own beds. Sometimes it ends up being a pretty late night, but we have done this for many years and the kids always look forward to sleeping on the floor, on the couch, wherever in the living room with the Christmas tree. I just have a couple more traditions here to name. On Christmas Day for breakfast, we always being like the last maybe 4 or 5 years, we always do Santa pancakes. So we make pancakes for breakfast. We have strawberries, we have chocolate chips, we have whipped cream, and we did this one random year. I decided to make pancakes and I just made like a little Santa hat with a strawberry and whipped cream and made a big beard and chocolate chips for eyes, and I just did that one year and thought this would be fun. The kids loved it, of course. The next year I decided to do something different and the kids were like, why aren't we having Santa pancakes? Aren't we supposed to have Santa pancakes? And I was like, oh, I didn't realize this was a tradition. I just thought like, I just did that one time. But the kids definitely wanted to continue doing that. So that is now a tradition, kind of an accidental tradition, but we always do Santa pancakes for breakfast on Christmas Day. The last tradition I wanted to mention, and this is one of the ones that one of the kids mentioned to me this morning, which pleasantly surprised me that this was their favorite tradition, and that is that we read the Christmas story and we sing Christmas carols on Christmas morning before we open the gifts. So our Christmas morning is kind of drawn out. We did this growing up in my family. Andrew says he did that growing up in his family. And it was one of those things that I'm like, oh my goodness, I am not doing this. Once we have our own kids, once I'm out of the house, I am not continuing this, because we open the presents so late in the morning. So we get up, we do our stockings, and then we kind of clean that up and we have breakfast and we get cleaned up from breakfast. It's easily 11 o'clock by the time we all, you know, sit down in the living room and are ready for opening up presents. And then as the kids are sitting there, like, can hardly contain their excitement because they want to see what their presents are under the tree, we go through Luke 2, we read the Christmas story, we usually sing 3 or 4 Christmas carols, and then it's time to open the gifts. And I love it. I feel like on Christmas Day, once gifts are opened, Christmas, for the most part, is over. Yeah, you still have a couple days maybe with your tree up and decorations and stuff, but like really the whole Christmas season leads up to Christmas morning. So I love kind of drawing it out and just really soaking in and enjoying that Christmas Day. So those are a few of our favorite traditions. Let me know down in the comments below what your Christmas traditions are, if you have any unique ones. I love hearing what other families do. We are doing, for our homeschool this Christmas, we're doing a Christmas Around the World unit study. So it's really interesting as we've been going through and finding out what Christmas traditions are popular in different countries and different places. So let me know down in the comments what your Christmas traditions are, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and Merry Christmas! I'll see you next time. Bye.